Hello and welcome back to my channel, the best place to be to discover exactly how your thoughts and emotions are affecting your whole health. And not just your health, but your life as well. Hi, I'm Andrea Coulter, and this week I'm going to talk about how to improve your resilience. Now, I'm going to start by sharing that we had a really traumatic event unfold recently, really close to home, and it shook me to my core. I honestly have not been this emotionally upset in a really, really long time. And it made me realize that, we all struggle with trauma. We all struggle with difficult situations in life. It's going to happen. And it's how we've learned to cope with that difficulty that allows us to continue to grow and evolve in a healthier way after that event has unfolded and be able to move on from it in a way that it doesn't, damage us. Because trauma, and a really big trauma, whether it's mental, emotional, or physical trauma, can destroy us to the point of no return, or it can help us to grow and strengthen ourselves so that the next time we come across a traumatic event, that it doesn't create so much damage. So having resilience, it's like an emotional and mental muscle. It's no different than, going to the gym or, working out and doing strength training so that you build up that muscle. Just as a physical muscle, emotional and mental resilience is the same thing. It takes time to improve it, and it is something that we have to continually work on. Just like in the last video when I talked about building immunity to viruses and bacteria, that also takes energy and consciousness and time. And so does building up our mental emotional resilience. Because let's face it, crazy stressful situations are going to happen. Trauma is going to happen. Accidents are going to happen. Negative things are going to come into your life. It's a fact of being human. So the greater we can learn to be more resilient and learn to handle these difficult situations, the greater we'll be able to move through life and the less we will get knocked down. Whenever I was thinking of, doing this video, I was actually thinking of, what's a good metaphor? A number of years ago, we had a horrible storm come through, and I have this row of pine trees out my office window. And this storm came in, and the wind was so extreme, and the rain was literally going sideways. And I looked out my window, and these pine trees were literally bent over at like a 45-degree angle, if not more. And they were all leaning, and there's 30 of them. And I was like, holy cow, I'll be surprised if they all make it. And what's interesting is it was a fast and furious storm, and it came and it went. And when I looked out my window later, all of the pine trees were all standing back up. Might have been a few branches on the ground and some pine cones, but they all bounced right back. And to me, that's what resilience is all about. It's about, learning to lean in and go with that flow when things are going in a really bad way, and then afterwards to just come back to balance and be strong and stand your ground and know where you are. The other thing I've recognized in the last few years in my own practice is that I have seen younger and younger people having more and more stress and more depression and more just emotional and mental overwhelm. And I think it's just life is, getting heavier and heavier, and we aren't learning how to cope properly. So today I'm going to share with you all my best tips on how to strengthen your own resilience mentally, emotionally, so that you can go through life in a much more gracious and self-empowering way. So, just like you, I've had my share of trials and tribulations and heartache and stress and chaos in my life, and just a lot of mental, emotional heaviness in life, unhappiness in life. I've had it, just like you, but it's how we learn to cope with it and the tools that we use to cope with those difficult situations, and how we learn to recognize those tools and those situations and ways that we can change how we are affected by those difficult situations that actually improves our resilience and gives us more strength going through life. So I'm going to share with you my 7 favorite ways that I've used in my own life and with my clients to help boost and build better mental emotional resilience. And so I'll say number 1 is have support. Have someone in your life that you can reach out to. It is really vitally important that you feel that there is someone in your life that you can reach out. And honestly, if you feel like no one cares about me, I have no family members that I can talk to or that are alive, I don't know. But if you have not even one close friend that you can talk to, reach out to me. That's why I'm here. I hope that you have at least one good friend, and I'll share this with you. You know, growing up, I had lots of friends, I would say acquaintances. I've had very, very few really close friends. One of my big struggles in life. And I've always kind of played the whole lone wolf thing. I'm good. I don't need anybody. I will say this though. I always had my mom. And I am forever thankful and blessed that she was who she is and she was always there to have my back. Now, having said that, growing up, I did have always weirdly one decent friend when I was going through issues or troubles. And I trusted that friend at the time. It may have gone sideways later in life. I can't remember, but I have always had at least one person that I could confide in and share. They, you know, and even if they don't have any great advice to give you, simply just being able to share and dump how you're feeling to someone else really, really helps you to let go of some of the weight of whatever that traumatic situation is at the time. The other thing that helps with that is even believing in a higher power. So if you don't really have somebody else that you truly feel I can give this to and feel safe giving it to, then believe in the higher power. Whether you believe in God or just the universe or Buddha or whoever you want to believe in as a higher source, but have something. I do think having something to believe in really, really makes a difference. And I will, again, share this. When I was younger, I was a complete atheist. I completely did not get the whole religion thing because it just didn't jive with me. For whatever reason, I didn't believe in rigid rules. Why would God make all these rigid rules? So I kind of poo-pooed it all and became an atheist. I don't believe in anything. I don't believe in anyone. I don't need anybody. Again, the whole lone wolf thing. But at some point going through my own trials and tribulations in life, and a lot of great, empowering and inspiring individuals did come into my life between books and events and videos, those kind of things, I really started to recognize that, wait a sec, there is some higher power to the universe. I started to feel and believe in something greater than myself. I didn't want to give it a name, but I just felt that there was something greater. And so at times, it was really good for me just to put it out to the universe and let it go and trust that it would all be okay. So, you know, if that helps, I hope it does. Find a greater strength in yourself and in the universe to be able to let go. And I'll share a video link at the end to my letting go video, and maybe that will help as well. So number 2 is knowing that time moves on. That as horrible as it feels right now, and trust me, it felt really horrible the last few days. I was a bit of a mess. However, time does heal all wounds. It truly, truly does. We're not going to forget. And it's whatever that event was, it's going to change you. Absolutely it is. And hopefully in a greater, better way. However, trust that time will soften it. And it will change as your perspective changes as time goes on. After the moment of the traumatic event, we often see clearer. Of course, hindsight is 20/20, as they say. But it's true. As time goes on, you reflect and you view it in a bit of a different perspective. You have time to be calmer and to see it in a different light. So remember this. To build better resilience, understand that every time a difficult situation happens, remind yourself that time will change this and I will get through this. and I will be okay in time. Number 3 is honor how you're feeling. So during the event or shortly after the event, whatever is going on, take time to stop and reflect on how this event is making you feel and honor those feelings. Don't try to suppress or deny, pretend they're okay. Again, with this trauma that had gone on, certain individuals that I'm close to, I've reached out to see how they're doing with it. And, they're doing, again, part of the shock of horrible traumas is we go into, I'm okay. And I've been there in certain instances in life where horrible things have unfolded. I go into I'm one of those people, and my son and I have talked about this, where we're one of those people in a horribly traumatic situation in the moment. We got this. I can do this. We're all good. Let's get through this. We think really clearly. Like, we'd be great emergency response people because of that. After the fact, a few days later, we tend to crash and burn. But I get it. During the time, you might be, I'm okay. I'm good. Yeah, it's a horrible thing. Sucks, but I'm okay. If that's what is happening to you, that's okay. Let it ride out. Know that, it's going to change and morph again as time goes on. So take some time though afterwards and really try to reflect on allowing those emotions to bubble up when you need to let them bubble up and let them out. Because holding on to them only creates more problems. It only creates more disturbances. Which is why I like my Iomi remedies, because they are my absolute go-to just to help soften and let go in a sort of more unconscious way. I don't have to process it. It does the work for me to a degree. Yes, you have to be conscious of how you're going through this so that you can then build that resilience for the next event. And remember that your unique emotions and thoughts and perspective on whatever that traumatic event is yours. And it's up to you to recognize what life lesson is it that I can take from this situation and I can morph so that I become stronger because of it. It's the whole, been there, done that, learned it, not going to do it again. So again, that's number 4, is learn the life lesson from this. Look at this traumatic event as, what do I need to take away from this? What do I need to understand from this situation that I can improve how I respond in the future to these kinds of events? How do these events affect me? What is it that I tend to take away from this? Those are the important keys that you can then learn how to overcome by dint of your own effort. And remember, anything you acquire, again, physical muscles, healthy immunity, but mental emotional immunity, those things that you acquire by dint of your own effort, no one can ever take that from you. Once you've acquired that life skill, you will always have it. It is this place of self-courage and ownership that strengthens your own resilience and helps to banish your fears and anxieties in life. Because the more empowered you become, the more you know yourself and how to handle yourself, especially in difficult situations, the less fearful life is. Which leads into number 5, which is have strength of self. Find your courage. Be willing to step up and do all the other steps I've talked about. Take that ownership back. Know that you got this. Yep, the universe always has your back, but you got this as well. Be willing to take one step at a time, one moment at a time, and trust that you have this, because the journey is totally worth it. So number 6 is really getting back to remedies. So for me, it's always all about, aside from doing my own conscious soul spiritual work, is what tools are the most effective at shifting our mental and emotional barriers, and that is the Iome Remedies. And I hope you check out the link below to my kits, because I have created these amazing combinations over my 35 years of experience. And they're unique. You can't get them anywhere else in the world, but they are the ones that I have used in practice for almost 20 years with, my clients, my family, myself, that have really helped me to strengthen and shift and really let go of those negative mental emotional barriers that hold us and keep us stuck. So number 6 is absolutely utilize a tool, and that tool for me is the Iome Remedies, so check them out below. So last but not least is number 7, which is have tools in place before traumatic events happen that can remind you about the goodness in life. Now, I know this sounds simple and easy, but it's not. And so actually, it's one of the reasons why I truly, truly really want everybody to practice gratitude every day. So every morning and every night, I do my gratitude exercises. And I know I've shared this before, but it's so vitally important, and here's why. Because it gives you that place of positiveness inside that is always there. So what happens is the more you practice gratitude and love for life, the easier it is when difficult situations befall you that you can go, it really sucks right now. Absolutely it does. However, things can get better, and there are good things in life. Even with all of this that's unfolding, I have these. And to remind yourself that you have these. Even if it's just, like I have this great saying on my wall beside my bed that, simple pleasures are life treasures. And when I wake up, I see that. Yeah, makes me smile. Like little tiny things that you have around your house, in your life, that remind you of the things that you love and make you smile and feel good and light. That's really, really important. If you live your whole life in a negative poo-poo state, then of course every little traumatic event that's going to happen is going to kill you. It's going to bang you down. So start looking for positives in life every single day and reminding yourself of those. And when you see those things, when you catch yourself smiling, stop and go, I actually feel good, even if it's something little. For me, it's always go outside. When I'm just totally wound up and emotional and not feeling great, I go for a walk outside. Even if it's miserable and blowing and snowing out, I will go for a walk, because something about being in nature for me makes me feel grounded and a part of a greater whole, and that it's all going to be okay. It's just one small moment in life. So whatever it is for you, take the time and the effort to put that in place today. Do it today. Start now. So that you're more able to roll with the punches, as they say. So that you have more strength and stamina, so that you can bend with those forces as you need to, and then bounce right back and feel resilient and strong again. So hopefully this week I've given you some great tips to boost your own resilience, and I would like to know, share with me below, what are some of the ways that you have strengthened your own mental and emotional resilience, and maybe share if you have some traumatic events that you've gone through, how you got through that traumatic event. Again, this is a community sharing these events and these traumatic experiences that we have, and ways that we can get through it really helps other people who might be struggling with that issue as well. So thank you again for being here. Remember to ring the bell and subscribe so you don't miss another crazy, wonderful, amazing video. And I'm very blessed that you are here in my life. And cheers to strengthening your own resilience this week. And let me know how it goes. So for the rest of this week, though, be authentic, be empowered, and own it completely. Bye.